Here we go. Here we go again.
I hope I don't look fat because I got like 3 legs. Alright, fuck it.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Pretty good.
Good, good.
Just uploaded the other episode earlier today.
Nice. Hope everybody
2 days
enjoys
late.
it. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But it came up. But it's cool though, you know. We did it last Sunday. Now we're doing another one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the good thing. We got the space, we got the place, and everything's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now we just need a better camera, some audio.
So yeah, definitely. We're working on it. We're definitely working on it.
It's coming soon.
It is. Yeah.
So
let me say this. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, yeah.
Thanks to everybody.
Just in case you guys didn't watch the entire episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I said Happy New Year's at the end, but Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's. Yeah. Now it's what, July. What are you thinking?
Damn.
January 3rd.
It's January 3rd right now, but you will definitely see this on the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is that? 5 days from now?
5 days from now.
So,
yeah, man.
there was some things I wanted to address and talk about with you.
Let's go. Talk to me.
Explain to me why you have that scar.
Oh man, that's crazy. So basically, I got into a really bad car accident about last year, 2 years ago now. And yeah, I was in the hospital for about 3 days. 3 days, and shit happens. So ended up crashing, and ended up waking up in the hospital, and I was waking up. It was like a movie. It's like a legit movie. I knocked out for about, so the accident happened around like 12 o'clock. Woke up around like 4 in the morning. Like I just started hearing like hospital noises, like lights and stuff, and I just started seeing white. I'm like, holy shit, where the fuck am I? On some 28 days later. Yeah, exactly. I was just like, holy shit. And I had like the cast on my neck, so I was kind of just like, whoa, like,
why can't I move?
Yeah, I was just like, why can't I move? Like, this is like crazy, And so, the nurse was a guy, and he goes, hey, you just got into an accident, blah, 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 give me this bill. He's like, is there anybody you can call? And I'm just like, okay. And so I called my family. My really good friends with me that were there for me that day came. I was in ICU for about a day because I had a hematoma in my head. People don't know what a hematoma is. It's bleeding in your brain. So I had like a little blood clot from where my scar is. The camera's kind of far away, but it's like right here. You kind of see it through here too. But yeah, I was pretty jacked up. I'll show you. I have a picture. I'll show it to you later. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it's pretty messed up. Just trying to recover. And then family went home, tried to sleep through the night. And when I woke up, they moved me into another room. But before that, what I do remember was when I had my bandages on my forehead, right here. They used like that sticky like bandage. So when they were trying to peel off my bandage, whatever, the doctor was trying to peel it off very, very, very slowly. And I was kind of like, well, he was kind of like struggling. He's like, hey, just hold down, grip tight, and just, I'm gonna peel it off.
Oh.
Just yanked that thing so hard, my whole face was just cold. It literally felt like just an ice pack on my head because it was so much dried up blood where it was just like gushing down. I literally looked like when Eddie Guerrero got hit with the chair against JBL. Yeah, I literally looked like that, just blood rushing down. And yeah, so that's how it looked. And then I got bandaged up again, moved to the room. I had to stay at the hospital maybe about two or 3 more days after that. I think I got out Wednesday. The accident happened from Sunday to Monday morning, and I was in there for maybe till like Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. Don't remember. So they were just like trying to reevaluate me and see how I was doing, because if not, if my hematoma would have gotten worse, then I would have gotten surgery, and then I would have, that would happen. And yeah, but I got better, thank God. And I actually forgot that I had a punctured lung, so I had like this blue like respiratory thing where like just go up and down. Yeah, just like respirator. So I would just trying to blow into it, just see like that little thing go up and down and stuff. And so it was a struggle being in there, but yeah, that's basically what happened. That's how I had the scar now. I mean, it's kind of cool, I'm a very big Star Wars fan. I love Anakin, so now I kind of live like Anakin. Yeah.
Sorry for the sad beginning, but
just had to throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's been years since he's seen me, and
hadn't really talked about that whole situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than more just like, oh shit, are you all right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It's a good way to start off.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anything that severe to the point where I have a hematoma.
Right.
But I know there's been a few times where I've pretty sure I have some undiagnosed concussions.
I mean, we all kind of
just just from skating and shit.
Yeah, shoulder injuries.
Bumping my head, just straight, just like just cruising and hit that little pebble.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, it's just like, ooh, I remember one time I was chilling with one of my buddies. Mm-hmm. It's bad. We're skating right there where the cars go by.
Right. For
the parking lot. And it dips down and goes into the street.
Right.
So we're like, all right, cool. It's just like it's nothing. Whatever. I did it like a few times. Right. All right, cool.
Where we used to live before, right?
Yeah, I went back when I was still in Oil Heights and everything.
Yeah.
But we're cool. We're just going up and down. We go up, do a kickflip, ollie, whatever. Mm-hmm. Come back down. We're cool. Yeah. So I go up, try to do a kickflip. Mess up, I'm like, whatever. So I just stand back on my board. I go down. My buddy calls me. I go, huh? And I didn't pick my board up from curb to street. Right. So there's just like a little gap to where it kind of goes down.
Indentation, right? Yeah.
My board went down. Front part of the board chipped into the street.
Oh no.
I go, what?
Jesus Christ.
No reaction to me like trying to save myself. It was a little bit too quick.
Oh my God.
So I just
had to conquer.
And I'm like, I just sit up real quick and oh shit. And my buddy's like, hey dude, you alright? Mm-hmm. I was like, got a little bit of blood, not a lot, more of a scrape. Yeah. I was like thinking like, alright, whatever, like I'm good, like I know where I'm at. I know what day it is. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna go home. And they were like, all right. Yeah. Like, looking back on that now, they even told me before, like, damn fool, we should probably like went with you home just to make sure you made it.
Exactly. They're just like, all right, cool.
But yeah, like, just I went and I'm like, cool. And like, I just put my beanie over. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I get home, and my mom's like, you all right? I'm like, not really. I just pick it up. She's like, oh my God. She starts freaking out, dude. And
that's crazy.
She's like, let me get the ice and that. So we go. She sits me down. She puts the ice pack on my head. She's like, what are you doing? I told you to stop skating. And then I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to stop.
No. That's something.
That's when I thought I could go pro.
Exactly.
I think we've all been there to that point where like,
oh yeah, we go
bro, I can do this.
Yeah. Then we're just nah, it's not
gonna. I remember too going to the doctor later that day, and they're like, oh, you don't have you don't have any bleeding, in your head like that. Mm. So we don't have to shave it down. You're good. I was like, what do you mean shave it down? What do you guys do? I was like, what? And I'm like 16, 17 at the time.
I was just about to ask you what age were you.
I was just like, what? Like, yeah, if it doesn't go down and you actually have a hematoma, we have to shave it down. And I'm like, Jesus. I was like, it scared me to the point where I was like, maybe I don't want to skate anymore.
That's true. Well, back then you did have long hair, right?
Yeah, I did kind of have long hair at that time. Wasn't my choice.
Yeah, you look like Roman Reigns with a beard.
Right? I mean, it just looked like a shitty beard because it wasn't as.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. Definitely wasn't like that. But, it was like the starting point. So it was like, I'm trying to think who has a good beard now, but had a choppy beard. Maybe like, I don't know. I know you don't know. I know you don't know about basketball. Like a James Harden.
I mean, I've seen those guys when they're like, yeah, I got a beard, and it's like crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that's not a beer.
I come to the conclusion that I would never brew a beer, bro, ever.
It's just very natural.
Yeah. I remember one time though. Remember when I grew this out, the mustache?
Yeah.
And that's
and
it.
everybody just looked at you like, hey, dude.
Yeah, it's time.
Just cut it.
It's time.
Oh, I want to grow it out.
Yeah,
I
see how it grows. But that was like a phase where I'm just like, well,
I can just try it.
I can just try it and see how it looks. It was the worst mistake of my life. And I just remember, just people were telling me, like, yo, yeah, it's time.
Like, hey, man, so no go for the mustache.
Not at all. Not at all.
But
yeah, man.
But there was another story for me, smacking the pavement.
Oh, Jesus.
It was I was skating down. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go get some Carls.
Right.
So I took off from my house in Mill Heights. Go down the street. I'm cruising. I'm cool. I was in the street the whole time.
Right.
Never touched the sidewalk. Along by the cars, just chilling, like cruising, whatever. All right, cool. So I'm like, all right, it's right there. Let me get onto the sidewalk. I can't go in the street over there. That's the main street.
Right.
So I go. Same thing happens, but the opposite way.
What do you mean?
Instead of clipping into the street, I clipped into the sidewalk.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I thought I picked my board up just enough. And I was like,
Don't
and
tell
I
me
did. I did. I picked it up at the front of my board. I was like, all right, cool, I made it. But I came out at an angle.
Oh, okay.
So
that back.
The back,
yeah.
same thing. Dude, it was bad. It was just.
And the worst part of it is, like, when you skateboard in the streets and you eat it, there's people watching.
Oh, yeah.
And people are gonna laugh.
Yeah, but like, luckily, like, there wasn't really people around.
Right.
So I ate shit hard, like hit the back of my head.
Jesus, bro.
It, like I went up and then I went just straight to the back left part of my head.
Bro, crazy.
I legit maybe 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
Blacked out.
No way.
Legit blacked out.
Like we said,
no,
oh,
5-10 seconds.
I said minutes. I was like,
because like for me,
I was like 10 minutes.
it was like that.
Uh-huh.
But there was a car behind me that I didn't see.
Mm.
Like he stopped.
Mm.
And then he seen me moving. He's like, hey man, are you alright?
Okay.
And I was like,
That's a good dude.
didn't come out of the car.
Right.
Stood in the car, rolled down his window. Hey, you alright? And I was like, I literally just turned. I go, yeah, I think so. And he took off. Right now, he's like, hey, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, whatever. The fact that he even just said something, I was like, alright.
Yeah, alright, cool. Strong love.
I remember getting up, not knowing where the fuck I was.
No way.
Legit, like, at that point, looking back on it now, I was like, I have a concussion. But still,
like, I have no idea why I'm outside.
Never went to the doctor for it. Because it came back, my memory kind of like, I was like, okay, it's this day, I don't remember.
Right.
But like, I legit just got confused.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, I'm like I literally just sat back up, pulled my board, and I'm like, sitting there for like a full minute, like.
Thank God you didn't have the food though.
I know.
I've seen a lot of people like that, where they ride, food flies everywhere, everything goes out, and you're fucked.
Yeah, dude, I remember I was just like, for a cool minute, just like I couldn't process what I was doing or what I was supposed to do.
That's crazy.
And then like it took me like a minute or two, and then I was like, oh, I was getting food.
Were you with your wife at the time?
Same thing. I think I was a little older.
Oh, okay.
Had to be like 18, 19. Oh. So yeah, I remember I got up and I'm like, my head hurts. like I'm like I go like this and then same thing. Not a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But I'm like I can legit feel the bump, and I'm like, I should probably go home now.
Yeah.
And then I went to Carl's. Still went to go get my food. And I didn't walk back home.
You just said
I skated back home. I was like, well,
that's how you gotta happen.
I'm just gonna.
It's that getting on the bike and falling off type of mentality.
Yeah, but too many undiagnosed concussions.
That's true.
That I probably have.
That's very true.
And I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I remember too, I didn't even go home after that.
Where'd you go?
Went to the park.
Oh, you just ate
with my buddies. I forgot that they were there.
Oh, I see.
And like, I remembered, like, oh, that's where I was going to go after.
Oh, eat and then go to the buddy.
Yeah. So I ended up going, and they're like, hey man, you're alright. You look like you're here, but you're not here.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I just bumped my head. They're like, what? And one of my homegirls that was there, Sandy,
right.
Shout out to you. If you watch this, I don't know. I haven't talked to her for a minute, but
yeah, shout out to people that you know.
she was like the only one like legit worried. Like, she's like, oh my god, are you alright? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. You know, just chilling.
Speaking about skateboarding, I remember when we were working together, when everything was getting broken down, like you bringing the board, man, bringing the board. And I'm trying to think if someone actually did bust their ass in there. I don't think anybody did.
I don't think anybody really fell.
No.
Yeah, no, like
just like
I mean, there were like some slip ups, like,
yeah.
Like, oh, somebody's gonna eat shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But nobody did. Everybody was kind of like, all right,
yeah,
kept that balance and everything. But,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, I'm very surprised. Nobody complained.
No one. Regular customers.
I legit, like, I know, regular customers and everything just
buying stuff.
Yeah, and they would just look at us like what are they doing? Like, is somebody gonna help me? Like, dude, the store's closing. We don't care. Like, sorry. I mean, we still did our job.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, majority of our shit was just bullshit.
Exactly.
And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the closing Kmart series that I have on my channel. There's about 8 episodes with a bonus episode at Frankenstein's. So you should probably check those out if you haven't.
Yeah.
But
I am also in those videos, so go check them out.
Yeah. Or they said some stupid shit.
Oh, a lot of stupid shit.
You can go back and see, how dumb were these guys?
Very embarrassing.
They're pretty dumb.
It's funny because I was telling you about it earlier, and I was watching those videos a couple days ago, and I'm just like, man, those are the days. But being on camera at the time, that was a dork. And I mean, even now, I'm still like, myself, but I'm still a dork. But at the same time, I don't know, something about my personality was just kind of very.
Yeah,
I was very quiet.
Like originally, if you guys watched them or if you haven't, I originally wanted to do a vlog type, sort of a series documenting that, and I ended up doing somewhat of that. Obviously,
we're gonna
talking to people and everything.
Yeah.
But and then I think it was like the last few episodes. I kind of like for certain people I was recording, I was like, hey, do this. I never told anybody what to say. But I would be like, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And like, I remember there was one time that we were in the back. When I was recording, it was myself and I think Brandy and Aaron.
Okay.
And I think I ended up using the clip from Aaron like twice. And I don't know if it's the same video or one of the other ones, or he goes, he makes like a stupid noise.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Because I think I used it when somebody asked me. I think it was Cassandra had asked me a question, and I go, huh? And then I inserted Aaron going, and at the time, dude, that dude, straight up, I was like, that's hilarious. I need to put that right there.
Talking about those videos, bro. At the ending of those videos, which you put. Mine had the best one because of my reaction. Yeah, that was the best one.
I mean, don't say what it was.
I might say what it was.
If you guys watch it,
you want to watch it. Watch the first. It was the first episode, I believe. Yeah, it was the first episode. Just watch the video and just wait till the end of the episode, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, you were getting a lot of people with it. And I just remember. I remember watching that video, and I remember it actually obviously going back to my memory of that day actually happened, because I just remember you calling me, and I'm like, why is this dude calling? Like we're working together, like we're in the same store. So I was like, why is he calling me? So I'm like, okay, just tripping up. Calling me, he's like, hey, look at the camera. And we had like cameras on top of the you know, obviously in the building. So people wouldn't steal, but people did it anyways. So I'm on the phone with him, like legit, and he's like, yo, just look at the camera. And I'm like, which one? And because obviously there's so many fucking cameras in the fucking air. And I'm just like, okay, which one? So I'm looking. And he's like, to your right, to your right, to your right, to your left. And I'm looking.
He's like,
and I'm finally looking at it. I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, okay, what am I doing? And he's like, and he just like hang up. He just hung up, and I'm just like, okay.
He's like, what?
I just literally looked at the camera, and that was it. Come to find out, at the end of the video, which you should go watch, the rest is history. It was that good. It was that funny. So,
yeah.
Shout out to you. But I was the only one that he did it to. But mine was the best one because of my reaction.
No, I did do it to somebody else.
No, you did, but
I did it. You were the first one.
Yes.
But I did do it to a few of the people.
Yeah, I think you did it to.
I did it to Bruce.
You did do it to Bruce. You did it to.
I forgot who else I did it to.
It was Bruce and.
Oh, Gonzalo. I don't know if
did
he did the video.
I don't think he did it. No, I don't think it was.
Edwin was.
It was Edwin.
Edwin was the other one.
Yeah.
I was just so glad, like, everybody was, like, just cool, like.
Yeah, it was like.
I mean, obviously everybody was messing around.
Right.
But I'm just, like, happy nobody really got upset.
Mm-hmm.
Other than one person. Cassandra. Because I was like, you know what? Because I tried to do it to her. And I told her, look at the camera. And she goes, oh, hell no, you better not do that shit to me. And I was like,
I remember that in the video.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but I remember there's 2 videos that she kept asking the same thing when she knew already. Shout out to Cassandra. But she knew already what you were doing. Like, you knew that she was recording the whole time. And then she was like, she kept asking, are you filming? Are you filming? And obviously.
I know, like, I'm legit just there with my phone like this.
Yeah.
Recording, talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Are you recording? No, I'm just holding my phone here. Sorry, Cassandra. Shout out to you, though. You're still cool.
Yeah.
But,
my favorite one is when you're recording Kevin on the couch. He was like chilling on the couch.
Oh.
He was like chilling. You know, obviously, like, you know, we know that he's, you know, that drinker. Shout out to Kevin. So, you know, he was holding it. I thought it was a drink at first. When I re-saw the video, I'm like, no way this dude was drinking inside of the store like that. But it was an Arizona can, so I was like, okay, my bad.
Like, oh, yeah.
So then, you know, he was just like chilling. He's like, yo, what's up?
And then I remember too, I think it's the first time I showed him, he just walks by and I go, is that drink? Is that drink?
Oh, yeah, that was
I
funny.
was like, oh, never mind. It's fake drink.
He was fake drink. I remember when Aaron was on the couch, he was like this, he was like, I can't get up. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And like every now and then I do go back and I watch them here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, damn, man. Back then, how we all were, to how we are now. Because I still keep in touch with some people.
Right.
I have them on Instagram, Facebook, things like that.
Right.
And it's like, damn, man. Like, there's some people that I look back at and I'm like, damn, like I did not expect them to. And it's not like anything negative. Or anything. Like, I don't want it to come off that way. And I'm like, damn, man, like these people actually went and kind of somewhat did a 180 with the personality. Completely flipped.
Oh, yeah.
And just set out to accomplish what they wanted to do.
Exactly. Which is dope, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like, shout out to everybody, Still nothing but peace, love, and positivity. If you guys don't get that, probably, never mind. Logic.
Yes.
But no, it's just like, it's cool to look back on everything. And it's like, damn, just to see where we were then to how we are now. Like, even in one of my videos, I had said, like, it's me and Maribel in the park. And I'm like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Where I'm like,
that's crazy itself. It's like you said it that back then, and it felt so long ago, but it just feels like it was obviously just yesterday. Yeah. And that corniness, obviously.
I know.
And
it's like, obviously, I was trying to be funny.
Right.
Sorry. And I'm like,
I just got there.
I'm
sorry.
like, I already heard it going. Like, but I somehow drowned it out for a second.
Right.
Sorry about that. You know, gotta get some.
It's all love. It's all love. You know.
When we get, you know, hopefully some microphones. Like I said, you know, y'all don't have to hear that. I mean, I know I don't want to hear that. But
when we talk about cutting stuff out, yeah, you gotta leave that in there. But once you go home and see that, when she sees that video, might be a different story.
Nah, but yeah, like the whole thing with if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched it, I said, you know, I'm driving with my wife, who's just my girlfriend at the time. Then I straight up said I was gonna marry her.
Right. You did say that.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it happened.
It happened.
It really happened.
But if you do remember what I had told you prior to even making the videos, that I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and
100%. I do remember those conversations with you.
And it's funny because I told her that. I'm like, the only person I remember really telling, like, I'm gonna marry this girl, was you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you were like, all right, man, yeah, that's what's up. Like, and it wasn't like you were like just saying yeah to shut me up. Right?
Nah,
you were like, yeah, dude, like, go for it, man. Like,
it was all genuine, bro. Like, I remember, you know, I do remember the conversation. I remember you telling me, and I was like, yeah, no, I definitely see it. Like, it is gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, we already got a kid too.
Yeah, number 2.
And then the second one on the way.
Yeah.
No sleep. I already don't sleep, man.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's why guys drink those.
Monster, you want to sponsor me? I've been loyal since 08. I'm just saying, man. Yeah. You know, it'd be cool. Maybe get some free merch. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy original.
Yeah.
And it's not like, well, it's kind of a plug. Hold up.
Nice.
I gotta get that first sip in, man.
It is. That has to happen. But yeah.
And don't worry, this is my.
You know what's funny is that you've always drank that, even us knowing, but you always know me being a drinker. So it's like, it's always gonna have one here.
It's apple juice.
It is apple juice.
No matter what it says on the bottle.
No matter what.
It is apple juice.
Yes. You know, for the kids.
But this is
Maybe
Monster.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, pretty much, I know everybody that I know, or that I've known for years, has seen me with this in my hand.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's no secret. I mean, it was for a while. But
yeah. Damn.
It's all good now.
Going back to that. Going back to your video, that video. Well, let me talk about like how me coming on. Like this guy dropping his video on Christmas really inspired me because I've always wanted to do podcasting. I love talking about different things. We have similar interests, so it's a match made in heaven. So why not talk about the certain things that we love and cherish as kids, or just even now just being grown adults. Talk about those the old days and what's going on now and movies, music, video games, comic books, stuff like that.
Everything that we have in common. And obviously, there's people out there. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this,
exactly,
you're into the same shit that we are.
Exactly. Yeah, most 100%.
So that's great. Like, because I know there's a lot of people. Like I said before, there's people that tell me you should stick to one thing for your channel.
Right.
And that's kind of, it's a good thing for some people, but I feel like for me, I don't want it to just be a podcast.
Right.
I don't want my brand. Yes, it's a brand.
It is a brand. It's got that to show it.
I want to venture all different avenues that I can.
Right.
Obviously, right now, I'm repping Pieces. I know what you can get at shop at piecesla.com and at Pieces on Instagram.
Yes.
But obviously, I do want to do my own clothing brand. Obviously, like I said, with the hat, this is just like a prototype of what could be.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Let me know.
It's very straightforward, which is awesome.
I still get stopped by people and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I legit like don't even know what they're talking about. What?
Yeah.
Like, why does it say WhatNot?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, it's my podcast. Like, I remember one dude just straight up trying to knock me down with my shit. And he's like, never heard of it. It must be trash. And kept walking. And I'm like,
it's those people that you really remember. You
yeah.
really do remember because either they don't have anything going on in their lives,
which is
portrayed, which is most of the time. It's all about just growth, man. Just doing what you love and doing it with people that you want to do it with, you know. You can have all these supporters. You could just have one supporter that's like more than one. It could be a friend or it could be a stranger. It could be either or. But yeah, going back to like, you know, message, you know, saying my name in your podcast, I was like, damn, like, you know, that was like, I genuinely love because, you know, showing love to you when I message you like, hey, you know, like, I respect what you're doing, I love what you're doing, I want to be a part of it, you know, because it is his thing. This is his thing. I'm just, you know, the co-host, and I'm just, you know, giving my input and just, you know, going along for the ride. But I want this guy to succeed in this, and I want this guy to grow at the same time. You know, like I have, you know, my stuff going on in pieces, but at the same time, why can't we both grow together?
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's literally like the best thing. So, you know, even watching your podcast before, you know, the funny, you know, things that you say and stuff, you know, it's
sorry about that again. You know,
hopefully it might hear it, but
I'm pretty sure my mic picks up a lot of shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably good then. Anyways, yeah, you know, like, you know, hearing the funny stories, you know, of you know, you and, you know, your wife about the monster, you know, that I love. I remember watching that video at, you know, before I was even here at this warehouse, we had a little like office space, and, you know, now we're here. Now we're at this, you know, big warehouse, still growing as a company and still growing with, you know, people we love. So, you know, watching that, I was laughing. I was hearing my AirPods and I was watching it. I laughed. My buddy of mine, he was like, "What are you laughing at?" And I told him, like, "Hey, my friend has a podcast. He's telling this funny story." And he's like, "Oh, that's dope." You know, like they even thought they were dope. You know, like, and they even thought that it was dope. You know, that you're doing this. So, you know, like, you know, I really do believe that this can really be, you know, something greater than just a regular podcast. There's so many other podcasts out there. There's so many just different ventures of business that people just want. Obviously, people want it to be different in whatever they want to do. But, you know, as long as you're doing it, as long as you know, the audience is gonna watch whatever, no matter what you put out. You know? And that's basically, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get you choked up. Nah, but,
right.
But yeah, like, see, like, just like that, that's like the little moments of my reaction, of you being sincere. And
Exactly.
That's what makes this.
100%.
Like, just, because I know there's some people that do podcasts scripted, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
I mean, if you have a set list of things, I mean, it's not necessarily scripted, but you are kind of like divulging everything in a certain direction.
Exactly.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Which I did, I believe, in my first episode when I had two of my other coworkers at the time.
Right, and that was no issue. Like, you know,
yeah, like, it wasn't like I was like, oh, we got to get through this, we got to do this, we got to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I tried to keep it as simplistic and easy flowing as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Just so it didn't seem rushed. Like, all right, next topic. All right, this and that.
And it didn't feel like that at all. Like, I love that dynamic of you know, where it was scripted, but it was, this is what we're going to talk about, and then, you know, you had your inputs, and then, you know, your friends had your inputs. But what was great about it, though, was like, when you watch someone as friends or just as a podcast, those certain topics of what you're talking about are gonna stray away from what you're actually talking about. You know what I mean? And that's when it really becomes genuine, because you start talking about different things, and you know, those people that are watching this might be like, oh, well, this is what I can pertain to, this might not, but, you know, like, it's just different things, you know, different little things like that.
I mean, you know, like we were saying earlier, and how I was mentioning earlier that I want to do different things with the channel.
Right.
If you guys haven't checked it out, I'm gonna plug my video right now. I'll probably put it in the card. I mean, obviously it'll be over Broly's head, but my Power Ranger video that I was just showing you,
Right.
which I never thought was gonna blow up, but considering my channel size when I uploaded the video. There was a spike in the views just within this year.
Right.
Prior to me actually looking at my statistics, my analytics, for the people that know or don't know, the YouTube analytics in the studio app, I'm getting consistent views throughout the month for that video. I mean, you know, I'm getting views on obviously the podcast, the mini series of Kmart.
Right.
And it's crazy that there was this spike in views, all because Hasbro bought Power Rangers.
Right.
A few months back.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard about that. Yeah.
About half a year ago now.
Right.
And they released the Lightning Collection toys, which are fire. They're dope.
Definitely.
I have like 9. I have another one on the way. Thank you, brother Andrew. He's sending me a Green Ranger.
Nice.
So just
fire. That's well.
But yeah, like when all those started popping off and people were buying them like crazy, obviously people want to see the reviews on the toys, you know, the articulation of the arms and legs, which I'll probably do. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do that, because I do enjoy Power Rangers. But so I'm like, damn, like all because of that was the reason my video took off.
Right.
So yesterday actually, or I guess this morning, while I was still editing the prior episode, as it was rendering before I even put it on YouTube or anything,
right.
I was like, you know what, let me go through all my videos and update the description. Because I'm like, you know, if my shit started popping because of the Lightning Collection,
yeah,
I'm going to write Power Rangers Lightning Collection in that description.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So it pops up more in, you know, search and everything. Surprisingly though, that video was never, the majority of it, I would say about 90%, was not searched for. It was all through recommended, which is where I want to be, especially with this podcast.
Exactly.
I always want to be on people's recommended, like, hey, I just finished watching this podcast.
Watch this one.
Oh, what's this? The WhatNot?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll check that shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm like, damn, man, like 90% of my views came from recommended. I definitely need to put Lightning Collection in the description.
Yeah, definitely.
And damn, man, like just,
that's dope, man. That's awesome.
It's a trip, and it's like they're not even toys for older kids.
Yeah.
They're legit for like smaller kids. Like,
like
my son's age.
I was just about to say that.
Who does play with them now? He's got we got all of them right there, just thrown in his toy box with the Zords.
No way. Thanks to
me.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you know what?
I was gonna say your wife.
Right? Nah, but I said, screw it. You know what? These are gonna end up just staying here anyways. Let me pop them open. Let's see this. I wanted to see how he reacted.
Right.
I mean, they were already open.
Right.
Obviously, because I opened them in the video.
Exactly.
And I ended up recording another video after that on my previous laptop, which just took a shit like right after I was editing it. So I never got that second video out. So I said, screw it. I pulled them out of my storage bin. I was like, oh, here. I wanted to see how he reacted.
Right.
And he's like, oh, eso. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. You can take them. Go ahead.
But that's the beauty of like passing down like generational items like that. You know, like what we like obviously as kids, you know, we're obviously at the day and age where we're obviously a lot older. You know, obviously, you know, you having your little one, another one on the way, me having friends that, you know, have their kids already too. You know, why not teach our kids, you know, what we like back in the day, what we watched and stuff like that, you know, and then have that generation kick off, you know. So it's stuff like that, man. It's like,
I'm gonna start showing him everything, bro. I have this video. I'll probably show you after. Maybe like a year ago, I was sitting in the room with him, and I'm like, you know what? Let me put some cartoons up. So I'm going through. I'm like, man, like all these little kid cartoons for him look like crap.
They do.
And I'm like, I remember like the animation, like just the ones that are on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Other than like the biggest thing, which is Coco Melon.
Yeah.
Which is just
or like
it's like everywhere. Peppa Pig, Cocomelon, Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Dude, my son right now, he's so big on Puppy Dog Pals that it's like two little pups.
Is that the one? Is that
two little pups?
Is that the one where the guy was complaining about everything and he's like, oh, I wish I could have this. And he walks out and the dogs are like,
yeah, they go on adventures.
Yes,
dude.
Funny.
Look at this shit. No, two grown men. We're talking about Puppy Dog Pals.
Jesus Christ. No, see, disclaimer, the reason why I know that was because I have a friend that has a baby that watches that show and he hates it the same way you hate it.
I mean, that's the thing though. I don't necessarily hate it.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
okay.
I don't sit there and watch it with him.
Right, exactly. I'm sure not. I mean, I'm sure you catch a couple episodes.
I'm just happy, he found a cartoon that he can like genuinely enjoy.
Exactly.
It's literally between that, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which is fine, Mickey Mouse.
Classic.
I grew up with that shit too, but obviously not that one. But there's one other show that like just I'll legit sit there with him and watch it.
Which one?
It's called Bluey.
Bluey.
It's another show about dogs.
Oh, okay.
But it's more like 2D animation style. But it's like the creators of that, or the writers, or whoever, animators and everything, dude, I give them props for what they put in the show. Animation-wise, it looks beautiful.
What would you compare it to, like, as far as like our generation cartoons? Like, what would that? Because obviously I don't know about. I don't know the cartoon itself. Like, you know. But
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily compare it to like cartoons from our days because I really don't remember there being many children's cartoons that were for younger kids. Like none that I watched.
Right.
I mean, other than maybe, but it wasn't really a cartoon. Sesame Street, The Muppets.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's kind of like that.
No,
it's nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
No, those are like only like the only cartoons, children's shows,
right,
that I can associate with a younger child.
Right.
Like there wasn't much. Like back when I was younger, dude, I watched Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So
I did too. Yeah. I mean, I watched like Caillou and.
I think everybody did. If you did not have cable, that was legit.
Yeah. When we didn't have cable, it was like Teletubbies, Caillou, Clifford,
JJ the Jet
Plane.
Was scary though. That was scary. If you look back at it now, their faces.
Yeah.
It was like
kind of weird.
It was like, how did I watch this? Dude, this is so poorly animated.
Going on topic, like, so talking about kids shows, Blue's Clues.
Of course.
Iconic, obviously, but when I literally begged my family. I was like, I need the
pad.
The pad. I need the pad. I needed it. Because it's funny. I'm very big into art. I've always something as a kid. Like I've always been into art. Like whether it's clothing, whether it's artwork, whether it's music or anything like that. Like I love art, whatever the case may be. So I was like, I need the pad. So, when I got it, I was so hyped as a kid. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. I was like, I can't wait to use it for the next episode. I'm watching, wake up the next day, I'm here. So I'm like, he would, take out the pad and, start drawing. And I'm like, I know I could draw it like that. I know it. Take out the pad, I'm writing it down, and I'm looking, but I'm kind of like drawing it, so to speak. So I'm just like, boom. And then he obviously shows you, how he
looks
drew.
all perfect.
So he did it, and I look at him I look at mine, I'm like, what the hell happened? I'm like, what the fuck? So I did that for a couple of episodes. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna learn. I'm definitely gonna learn. So yeah, it's just like those little things that obviously, as being a kid or just those iconic, shows and cartoons. Even before cable,
it just resonates with you.
Exactly. And then when we got cable, oh, forget about it. We had, like you said, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles. Power Rangers, we had Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, just everything, man. DBZ.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Matt.
If you go back to that show, bro, that was one of the weirdest shows. That was up there with Courage. Those two shows, if you look back at it, you're kind of just like, what am I watching? You know what I mean?
Okay.
But Grim was more very
because it was more for older kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily it was maybe for preteen, teen.
Mm-hmm.
I would say about maybe 9-ish.
Yeah.
To 14.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah.
But maybe your definition of weird is a little different from mine. Because I remember there was one show that was hella weird. Not on Cartoon Network. It was on Nickelodeon.
Which one?
It was Puppets. I don't know if you remember it.
I do remember that show.
Mr. Meaty.
I do remember that show.
That was the weirdest
insane.
shit I ever seen.
That was fucking insane. That kind of reminded me
of
of
like, dude, it tripped me out because that is no way a kid's show.
It's not at all.
But it was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I do remember that show, but so I'm a very big horror guy. I love this T-shirt. Pieces. Go check it out.
So Halloween inspiration.
It's a Halloween inspiration. I'm a very big horror guy. Halloween is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love Michael Myers. That's one of my favorite characters. Aside from that, there was another movie called, I'm pretty sure you know about it, Puppet Master.
Oh.
So when I saw Puppet Master, and I'm watching this like at 9 years old. Obviously I shouldn't be watching this, but I love like horror movies. So watching it at a younger age, I'm just like, watch that movie, and then I see puppets. I'm like, why is this? I literally thought that as a kid. I'm like, why am I watching the same thing? Obviously not the same thing, but like that concept as a kid, I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. Because I know obviously horror movies are for adults. They're, you know, obviously I shouldn't be watching them knowingly, but I still do. But watching this as a kid, I'm just like, what is going on? You know? So
yeah, like this don't look like a horror movie.
This is like weird. This is super weird. But yeah, I do remember that show. I also remember I was gonna ask you, what was your weirdest Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy episode? Because I had one.
Weirdest one?
Weirdest one. Scratch that. Weirdest one, and like as a kid, scariest one. Because I was scared.
You know, I don't think I ever got weirded out by that show. I mean, I myself was a weird kid. So, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily have anything that like freaked me out from that show.
Mm.
I mean, maybe. I mean, obviously, you know, we watched it when we were younger.
Right.
I would say maybe Nurgle, just in general, him.
Nurgle. Was that the kid, the little black kid with glasses?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, the one with the nose, the yellow character.
No.
Who's Nurgle?
Nurgle's the little boy with the other demon. He had tentacle arms and everything.
Oh yeah. That guy.
I think it was more of him. Like, I don't know. It might have been a Halloween episode.
That's what I was thinking. So. For me, that was like watching it. Like again, I'm watching horror movies at a younger age, but watching that, it was like Jack, right? I think his name was Jack or some shit. Was it? The Halloween episode where Grim slices off his head and he becomes like a pumpkin head.
Oh,
what was that guy's name? Jack, right?
The head of the sorcerer.
No, it wasn't that song. It was like a. Oh yeah, technically he had like he had that type of vibe to him, but I forgot his name. But anyways, maybe. Like that was like the story like behind it. I remember just watching it, I'm just like looking at the TV, I'm just like, what is this? What the fuck did I just see?
as a little kid, just
Grim's just like, yeah, fucking just cut it off his head, and I'm just like, and again, but I'm like watching horror movies at a young age, so I'm just like, but as like I feel like in a cartoon version of it, it's kind of it gives you like that little like heebie-jeebies type of thing, you know? It's kind of like, oh shit, it's kind of scary.
Nah, but there was shit. Look at how far we went away from what I was originally saying.
Exactly.
That's why.
I love that.
Going back to what I was saying about the children's show Bluey.
We went from talking about
kids
to more darker shit.
It was like, oh damn.
Right.
But no, going back to that, that's like the only cartoon I will sit there with Mirabel, and we will sit there and watch it with him because the writing for it, specifically for the adults, is just, it's like they say shit where I'm like, I would say that. Like, I do say that.
Right.
It's like, because there's one part where, well, if you guys have children or you don't know, Blue is the name of the main character, obviously, and it's female.
Blue or Bluey?
Bluey. Female. Has a younger sister, mom and dad. She's hanging out with the dad. They're playing all day, whatever. They're outside laying on the grass. She's laying on her dad. And she looks at him and goes, Mom, And he just straight up, without opening his eyes, I'm not your mom. And I'm like, how many times have I told my son that? When he was learning to talk.
Right.
And he would just go, Mom, Mom, to everything.
Yeah.
Like your grandma. Mom? Mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Mom? So I'm like, damn, like, and there was just one episode that he was watching the other day. And I'm like, are they really trying to blackmail the dad? The daughters of the show. Bluey and the other sister. They
Is
asked
it on Cartoon Network or?
It's Disney Junior.
Oh, okay.
They straight up were like, Dad, you know, we want you to play with us. And he's like, oh, I can't right now. I got to do some work, right? And I'm like, okay, like they're gonna like debug him or something, right? They straight up look at each other. Bluey tells the younger one, okay, tears in your eyes. I'm like, what? What are they doing? Ears down. Hold these stuffed animals. I'm like, what? They walk up to the dad. Dad, why don't you love us? And I'm like, what the hell? I'm just like, that's some stuff.
That's some real shit.
Like, you never want to play with us. You're always working and never home. And I'm like,
what am I watching?
what the hell? It just, dude, it tripped me out. I think that's part of the reason why I'm like, I'll watch this show.
Yeah.
Just
It's
for
obviously
things
it's
like
like
that.
real.
It's like-
It's not more about the learning show. It is a learning show, but it's like adult. I hate to say adult learning.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously they know
Yeah.
that parents are going to sit there and watch. I mean, not maybe directly watch, but maybe indirectly, like just being in the room, you know, or just there's some parents like myself that'll sit there and be like, "What is this about?"
Right.
But yeah, man, just I was tripping out on that, dude. Like for a kid show,
That's pretty dope.
that's
Pretty cool. I like
I
it.
gotta.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna obviously for him. That's gonna go down as a cartoon. That's gonna be like resonating with him for basically the rest of his life. You know.
And I already know he wants he wants his twist. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pick him up for him.
That's dope.
Next paycheck, I'll come home and be like, hey, here you go.
Right.
But
When it's time for him to. Wait, let me ask you this: has he hopped on sticks yet? Like,
oh,
when is that?
if you guys didn't see, he went like this. For video
Sticks
games.
meaning like video games, obviously.
So I've already tried to get him to do that, which he does. He'll randomly just grab the controller. The other one, if I'm playing or something, and like you know, just trying to figure it out. Obviously, it's not on, but like I was like, you know what? Like I want to see what he does with one that's actually connected. So I went old school. I was like, you know what? He can't play any of these. Like they're a little too complicated. I usually play adventure or shooters.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I broke out my GameCube, bro. I put that shit out.
No way.
I had originally
I didn't
bought
know
that
that.
for Mero.
Oh, okay.
That was a Christmas present like 2 years ago.
Wow.
She never played it. She played it the day we got it.
And that was it.
And I had bought a Super Mario Sunshine. Hands down, honestly,
Classic.
that is my favorite Mario game. I know there's people that talk shit and they're like, Super Mario 64 is the best.
Hey, you know,
Which
64,
that's,
Super,
and that's cool.
Card.
But for me,
there's a lot of them.
because this was my first Mario game that I owned, that I bought myself.
Right.
Even when I was younger, when I originally had my first GameCube,
Right.
I bought that. Obviously, it was birthday money.
Yeah.
It wasn't working.
Dope.
That was a child labor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, this is hands down. For me, this is the best one.
Right.
That's why I bought it on the Switch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nah, like,
Oh, you bought the 3-pack?
yeah, I bought the
Nice.
anniversary collection,
Nice. Yeah.
which
Definitely.
I wish would have been an HD remaster.
Wait, so that came with Sunshine and
64?
64 and it came
And,
with Odyssey.
Galaxy.
Oh, Galaxy. Yeah. I know there's Odyssey too. What up?
And but yeah, like so I hooked it up and everything. I was like, all right, cool. You know, past the whole beginning part, so he can just be on the island. I plug it in, and I'm like, oh, here you go, Papa. So I give him the controller, and he's like trying to figure it out, like what does what.
Right.
So he ends up running around, and I'm like,
Moving.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and it got to a point where he stopped going like this and he was just looking at the screen. He didn't even have to look at his hands.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, like
he's learning.
I'm gonna start him this young. All right, cool. Because I know for myself, I started at like 3.
Started at 4.
Atari 2600, which was handed down to me, and my Super Nintendo.
Nice.
I will still, till the day that I die, claim, which is true, even though my brother never wants to admit it. At 3 years old, maybe 4.
Right.
I played Super Mario World, passed the entire game by myself.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. Yeah.
He never wants to. He's like, nah, I did it. I did it. I go, yeah, you did it too.
Yeah.
But I know I did it.
Right. Especially being that young.
Dude, I legit played that shit for hours every day. And he wants to sit there and tell me he never beat it.
No.
I'm like, bro.
No. I remember when Super Mario World was on the Game Boy SP. I did play the original, but like I never. It's so weird. I never owned like a 64
or a
Super. Super, yeah. It wasn't until the SP where I got it and I passed it. I was like, okay, like I get the game. I played it before, but I never actually owned obviously the 64 or Super. So I'm kind of like, okay. Then that's when I started to like, Mario, Nintendo, Zelda, especially now with like Smash Bros and stuff. Like Smash Bros is pretty intense. So it's getting pretty crazy.
Do you remember us playing?
Oh, 100%.
Gonzalo's house.
Gonzalo.
I think there was a few times where you guys came over.
Yeah.
And we were playing.
Yeah.
And I remember just beating all you guys.
Oh. That was terrible.
I was the only one that was like, I need to win.
I was very close. I would use like, even in the old days, I still use Mario. I use Fox. I love Fox. Fox is probably one of my favorite characters in Smash Bros.
In all honesty, my name, no matter what, is Captain Falcon. And excuse me, well, I checked the thing for the
I hate the fact you use Captain Falcon only because his punches, his kicks, would get on my nerves. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But obviously, he's such a dope character, so it's like, it's only right. There's so crazy when you talk about Smash Bros. There's certain characters of the game that are so iconic. Obviously, like Mario, Zelda, Link.
Pretty much everybody that was in the first game.
Yeah, basically. Like I remember when the 2 people that I unlocked that I didn't know was in the game in the first one was Ganondorf. And he's in the first one. He had to do like a secret mission.
Probably
something like that. Yeah, like I know you have to do something with Link and Zelda because obviously like from that timeline. Then I remember doing another one. I totally forgot when, and where. I just remember unlocking YouTube.
YouTube's not in the first game.
Was it?
Nope.
Was he? I know he had to be in
I think
something.
it's Dr. Mario.
Oh no, I do remember Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario was in there, but I want to say if the YouTube community maybe I might be wrong, but I want to say YouTube was in the first one. I want to.
I don't think so, man. I think the first time he came in was Melee, which was my Super Smash Bros.
That's one of them. Melee. That was my first game. Oh, you're talking about no? See, that's what I'm talking about. No, well, wait, wasn't Melee Melee was the first game? Yeah, no, exactly.
That's not the first one.
Oh, really?
First one.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I was back then.
Tripping, bro.
See, that's not true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was happy when they actually added Mega Man into the new ones. That's pretty dope.
He's trash.
I mean, in Smash, yeah, they could have, utilized him.
Yeah, they kind of nerfed him.
Oh, 100%. Especially that we're gonna add Mega Man X.
Oh, of course not.
If they would add Mega Man X,
if they would put X.
Good lord to everybody that would have played against him. That would have been one of the godliest characters in that game, 100%. And you could use one of your best fighters. Like, you could hands down can use them, you're not beating Mega Man X. Mega Man X probably go 100%.
Dude, he was, I don't know, like, I used to play all the X games on PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I would legit play that shit over and over.
Did you ever see shout out to my favorite influencer, Warren's Chain. Will Thomas, aka Zero, if you've ever seen the movie Holes.
Fire.
Love him, adore him. That's why I have his cup, wear all his merch. Dope dude. He's always on Twitch, always like playing video games. If we ever had to sit down like how we're doing, he definitely loved what we're talking about.
Oh, of course.
Him and his brothers, not his brothers, him and his brother and a group of friends of his, they actually do like, you know, podcasting and have their own thing going on.
Okay.
They do reaction speedruns. And they actually saw a speedrun of the first Mega Man X, the second Mega Man X, and I believe the third. I think there's a third. But you gotta watch those videos. It's insane of how fast these people are finishing these games. As a child, like obviously, you know, playing these games for so long. And not even that, they watch they literally have Tony Hawk 1, 2, and 3 beaten in one I think was beaten in.
You can beat the first one in like 20 minutes.
No, this guy beat it like in 13.
Yeah, I'm like, because I know it.
The second one I think was like
legit just passed through like most of it.
Yeah, but it's like certain ways of like doing it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because like if you ever look at it when they're like, especially when they do the competition ones.
Yes.
They legit just they do like so many moves in the run.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh damn, like okay, obviously you have to know what the score is to get the goal.
I was watching one yesterday. I want to say it was either 1 or 2, and it was a competition either in, I think it was in Spain or somewhere else. I think it was like Barcelona or somewhere else. There was like a section of the map where like it was like a bunch of trees. It's like a wooden gate.
Oh, and you have to smack into it?
You smack the tree and you go back around and smack the other tree and you literally wait and you're yes. I didn't know that, bro. I literally was watching that video and I did not know that. I
think there's like money in there or something.
There's like, it's basically like a little like rail. There is money in there though, yeah. But I was as shocked as they were when I was watching their videos. Like it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'll show you the
secret.
Yeah, they were like, how did this happen? Like they legit thought it was like a glitch or something. But it was actually a part of the game, so I was kind of like that. But going back to Mega Man X, like, you know, that game itself. Well, the first one, the guy beat it in 30 minutes, and I believe that was the first one. The second one, I think he beat it like in 29 or almost close to 30 minutes. But the fact to beat it, like you're watching basically an hour, like a half an hour of an Office episode, and this guy's like, hey, let me go beat Mega Man X real quick.
I know, it's
you know what I mean?
It's such a trip when you watch people do speed runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's people that I don't necessarily follow, but I kind of like, I know them because I'll see their speed run pop up.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, like I've seen people speed run the Crash games.
That I definitely see.
I straight up thought I was fast on that shit. Obviously,
wait, which one? We're talking about the first one or which one?
1, 2, and 3.
I thought I was pretty fast on that too. So that's
like straight up, because from all 3 of those games, I only owned the third one. I played the first 2 at my cousin's house.
Okay.
So I passed through them like nothing.
Right.
Within the day, I'd be done.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, nobody can touch me.
Yeah.
Like these are easy.
Yeah.
I used to play the third one so much. I got down to, this is when I was like 10,
yeah,
9, 10. I think that was like the last time I played before my PS1 took a shit.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember I was like, I got this, bro. I used to 100% complete Warped, which is Crash 3.
Right.
4 hours.
That's insane. And there's people that probably do it even faster.
Of course, dude.
Of course, yeah.
Like, there's people that beat the entire game. But I mean, if you look at it too, because there's a difference between beating the game and then 100% completion.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, but what's crazy is that these people that are doing the Mega Man X ones, they do it at 100%. They're getting the power-ups. Yes, I will show you. They're getting the power-ups, they're getting the everything. Like, they're getting everything. They even get, so, I mean, you know this, but for the audience that don't know this, Mega Man is a Capcom game. Capcom is also Street Fighter. They actually have, the Hadouken in the first Mega Man X, and then Ken's uppercut in the second Mega Man X. This guy literally gets both of them in this video. That's insane. That's insane in itself. I could not believe what I was watching.
Damn. I think it's been a while since the last time I played that.
That was insane. Yeah, that was insane. And remember, like, you have to, in the game, you have to not only, you have to fight the bosses first, then you have to fight them again, and then you go to Sigma, and you have to do the Sigma levels, and then you fight Sigma. So it's like, and even if you beat Sigma, like, you have to fight him like twice, because obviously, he's, the badass villain, so, and that's the thing in itself, so, yeah, those games crazy. Even as a kid, you're just playing them, you're just getting frustrated, and Mega Man was so hard that you only have, like, what, 3 lives? Yeah, you're good. 3 lives, only 3 lives. And then obviously you have power-ups from the bosses that you would beat and stuff. But what I didn't know about the game was that certain bosses that you would beat, there were like their how do you say it? Their weaknesses. So like if you fight
the ice,
yeah,
or vice versa,
yeah. So like that's something you had to like kind of look out for in a sense. Yeah. Well, it's funny though, because I watch their videos like all the time. The guy that beat the video, he's from Japan. So instead of Mega Man, in Japan it's called Rocket Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. I was like, damn, that's funny.
Rocket Man X.
Yeah, so that's funny in itself. So all the names of the villains are like different. So it's like all the villains are different. So they're pretty funny. Like the names are pretty funny. So Chokin, like classic character. And the Japan version, his name's Icy Pinguino. That's literally the greatest thing I've ever heard. His brother was saying that the whole time. Wow. Yeah, his name's Icy Pinguino. That's literally like a rap name you can use, and it like would stick for sure. There was another one. So there's the crab one. I forgot the crab's name, the original one. Do you remember? This was Mega Man 2. I forgot his name, but in the Japanese version, his name's Bubbly Crablos. That's his name. So it's Icy Pinguino and Bubbly Crablos for the 2 characters to the villain. That's funny and tough. So.
I was gonna say, speaking on Mega Man, none of the games, but did you ever watch the original Mega Man cartoon from like I think early 90s, maybe late 80s?
I didn't, but I did like see like a couple episodes. Like more or less like the main episodes. I was like, okay.
Like dude,
he's fighting when he fought Vile, when he fought Sigma, when he fought when it was like a episode between like him and Zero. That would be dope. So I basically kind of watched those episodes.
Dude, like it's a trip. Like I look back at a lot of the cartoons I watched, Mega Man included. Same for my older brother.
Right.
He's like, damn, this is why I'm into rock and metal. Cause dude, like if you go back,
the theme songs really made the games.
No, yes. not even the game.
Oh, even the show.
Yeah,
the show.
I was like, I'm like, damn, like no wonder me and my brother like were vibing with like Metallica, Black Sabbath, and all this like heavy metal or just metal in general.
Right.
Dude, like it's like you hear nothing but guitar riffs.
Yeah, that's all.
And I'm like,
you just hear like just very.
Dude, like legit, like Mega Man's theme song, lyric wise, is so simple. It's literally like one sentence repeated over and over.
Exactly.
Super fighting robot. Yeah. Mega Man. That's it.
That is. That's all it is.
It just repeats it through the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it's like, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And there's certain, obviously, like when you fight bosses, it's like, and it's like, it's pretty dope.
Even Thundercats.
Yeah, Thundercats has Thundercats, iconic, one of the most iconic starting openings to a TV show. Your favorite, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, before that too. Yeah, in the 80s was like crazy.
Dude, it's just like, Teenage Mutant. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Right.
No, but
yeah.
It's like it's a trip when I go back and I'm like, damn, like so much of these cartoons influenced me as a person.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
just like like you said, the whole generation was influenced by this, but it's always strange for people when I talk to them and I tell them, like, oh yeah, I grew up watching Thundercats, which came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm 94.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how are you even watching that? How do you know about that? I'm like, I had my brother and my cousin were born in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
That was their shit.
Yeah.
So I had VHSs.
Mm-hmm.
For the kids that don't know. You don't know what a VHS is?
If you don't know what a VHS is, if you don't know what a pager is,
cassette?
a cassette, a CD player,
A Walkman?
you're too young for me.
Bro, remember the struggle of carrying the CD player? You could only have one CD.
No, aside from that, remember just carrying a CD player and holding all the albums, or not, I wouldn't say that, all the CDs in your CD pouch?
I had.
You know what I mean?
I used to. I hated carrying around multiple CDs in a backpack with me when I had my CD player. Because I was like, dude, I'm not going to want to be switching this out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, you know what?
Yeah, it's kind of just dependent on
I'm throwing everything on the computer and burning my own shit. That's what you did back in the day, man.
You have 3 hours of whatever the fuck was on there, just playing, you know. And it's not like you can skip it, because you can kind of skip, but not really. You could just you just forward and shit. But the bad thing about that was you kind of fuck with the disc, so it's like, you know.
Dude, especially if you had a CD player that was shit.
Oh yeah.
Any bump or anything that when you're walking, just straight
just like.
Dude, I used to hate that.
Those are the struggles, man. Those are the struggles that this generation.
Struggles that y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all had it too good. Y'all grew up with iPods.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet y'all don't even know what an iPod is. You only know iPhone.
Or even the first iPhone. Remember the first iPhone that came out? But like nowadays, it looks like a cassette player.
Dude, it looks like it's the size of a cassette.
Exactly.
I'm just like, who is this?
Exactly.
That's why I originally when the iPhones came out, even if I had the money,
yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to use it, man.
Yeah.
I have some pretty big hands.
Yeah, true.
So I stick Android.
Yeah.
I don't need your your iPhone. Even though I may not like their phones, I have been watching videos about their new M1 processor for their laptops, their desktops, and the Mac Mini. I think I'm gonna give me a Mac Mini, bro. Even though I'm like,
there is a load out there.
I mean, I already got an iPad.
Yeah.
I got that for free, so I didn't care. It was mainly for my son. He don't even.
Yeah.
I mean, he used it. He screwed up my keyboard case that I had on it.
He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna destroy this real quick and give it back to my dad."
He's like, let me just pour my leche real quick.
Oh, that's how.
Oh, dude, I connect it. I'll be like typing, nothing. Dude,
yeah.
I click E, I get 0.
There you go.
And I'm like, how did that happen? So I'm like, hey, I called Maribel, like, hey, did he drop some shit on my thing? Yeah, probably. What do you mean, probably? I'm like, weren't you there with him? She's like, yeah. I was like, you did nothing? She's like, I turned it off. I was like, that doesn't fix it.
Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to Maribel, I love you. Okay? But, yeah, man, it's just.
Yeah, man, cartoons, man, just day and age, you know. Like, you know what's funny? Like, so talking about cartoons, me and one of my best friend's cousin, we were driving out to Calabasas, you know, working, doing everything, and we started talking about like old school cartoons, and we started talking about Ed and Eddie.
Ooh,
we started whistling, you know, the theme song. Yeah, exactly. So if anybody knows about that, you know your stuff. So, you know, talking about that cartoon, he looked up the funniest Ed and Eddie, I guess, episodes, and we started watching it. Come to find out, that show was like really weird.
Yeah. So were a lot of the shows that we watched as kids.
It was really weird. No, yeah, but I mean that one was like, if you look back at it now, it's more like, it was like, what am I watching? What's happening? You know what I mean? So, but
you gotta admit,
one thing I'll always remember about that show. Do you remember the Jawbreakers?
Bro, he was a straight hustler.
Yes, exactly.
He was a hustler with them Jawbreakers.
There was 2 episodes actually. I love the fact that they showed his brother finally, because Eddie would always talk about his brother, my brother, and like I have an older.
Dude, that episode.
That was dope.
technically it's like the special one.
It was like a special one, yeah. I love that episode because I'm an only child, for my family. My mom and dad, my mom and dad aren't together, but I have half siblings, step siblings. My stepbrother, my dad's married, obviously. Me and my stepbrother really get along really well. I, got to, meet him when I was like 8, and he was like 3 years younger than me. So around that time, I was still, watching the shows and stuff. So, he really had like a really big influence in my life. Shout out to you, Jacob. Thank you. But yeah, so when I started watching, that show continuously, I was like, yeah, like, my brother. So like, I would talk about my stepbrother a lot. So I kind of felt like that same resentment. Then when he came out, he was like a dick to him, and he was he was straight such a douche, bro. Like I hated that.
And everybody was like, damn, man, like they legit all went with him.
Mm-hmm.
Too, I remember.
That was like, they're like,
damn,
what?
man, like this guy speaks nothing but highly about you.
Yeah.
And this is how you're gonna treat him?
Exactly. Yeah. I remember when they showed his room, and his room was all like boarded up, and so he was like, I gotta get to my brother's room. He gets like a crowbar, breaks his door open, he walks in, there's like a car in his room, there's like a bunch of stuff, which is like, cool.
It's like,
even being as a kid, you're like, damn, like obviously, you having your older brother, me having my stepbrother, you think highly about, your brothers, you highly of them. So you're like, damn, like this is how I think my brother's room would be. So watching that, it was like really, really cool. So that was like kind of like, damn, disappointing episode. It's like you would think that his brother was like, yeah, no, he was badass, and he was cool,
Yeah. He was just a dick.
He was just a dick, yeah. But that one, and then the Jawbreaker episode. Oh, not episode, episodes, but obviously Jawbreaker when they would have it in their mouth.
Yeah, dude,
it would be like huge, like it would be crazy, yeah. So when they would eat Jawbreakers, I remember one time I was watching the show with my stepbrother. He's never seen it before. And like I said, he's a lot older than me, so one time I was watching it, and there was an episode where they had the Jawbreakers in the room. Yeah. Obviously, whoever's watching this out there, sorry if I have to say this story, but, when he seen that, he was like, that looks like my, what, in my, what. If that makes sense. To you out there, I want to keep it clean, I want to keep it cut, don't want to say too much. But us having that humor between us, exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Him saying that, I started immediately laughing because I knew what he was talking about, and I was just like, man, like you're a dick for saying that because you destroyed my whole childhood. Like watching that. So every time I saw that, that's exactly what I thought about. I was like, I mean, it is what it is.
I can destroy your childhood even more.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of things you can destroy. Like it's funny, like.
Well, Rugrats.
Oh, I know.
You know the theory about that one?
I know. Not the theory, but I thought you were gonna give me a scenario of what happened.
A theory of what the show actually is.
No.
So there's one out there. If you guys know it, obviously you'll understand what I'm saying. There's a theory out there that the entire Rugrats show.
Mm-hmm.
Is made up by Angelica. That all the rest of the Rugrats, Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil,
I think I heard about that.
Dill, no, Tommy,
yeah,
are all dead.
Yes, I did hear about.
I was like, what? How does this make sense? So, started reading more.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, Tommy was a preemie.
Mm.
Oh no, he was a stillborn because he is a preemie in the show.
Yeah,
you guys didn't know.
He's like the smallest one in the show. Yeah.
That it's supposed to be he was stillborn.
Oh.
And that's why he's so pale.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
That's kind of weird.
Chucky drowned. And that's why his hair is always messy. And why his clothes always look
like raggedy,
like he looks like.
Yeah, it's just like looks like whatever, but he looks like wet type of vibe, so to speak.
The whole thing with Phil and Lil was supposed to be that the parents were pregnant, lost the baby, and Angelica couldn't decide whether or not it was going to be a boy or a girl. Twins.
Oh, damn. That's deep.
I was tripping
That
out.
makes sense.
What?
That makes sense though. Yeah, no, reading up on that does make sense. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what's that? For like the third time now in this episode, we got
Yeah, pretty dark. Okay, like
unwanted noise.
yeah.
Sorry if I made it a little dark and lighten the mood by switching subjects, but
Yeah. Have you heard about the? Well, I'm sure you've heard about the Timmy Turner one, right? Where he's like,
he's abused.
he's abused, and then
His godparents are pills that he
Yeah,
takes.
yeah.
His green and pink pills.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I've heard that one.
Yeah.
And then his do you know what his babysitter does to him?
I could think about it, but
Starts with an M. I don't want to say this on
okay.
here.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little.
It's so crazy how we think, well, not we think, but we hear these people coming up with these theories of like our childhood shows and like how everything.
And like some of them,
But
are
some
like,
of them are kind of very.
some
like,
of them are like kind of like
they're very scary.
like where you can be like, okay, maybe this is maybe it could possibly be that, but obviously, you know for damn sure that's not what anybody that was working on the show was trying to intend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what I used to hate? Sorry to jump around to another thing, but back when we were in school, and the teacher would tell you to interpret what the author was saying in this paragraph or this page or whatever.
Right. I understand.
And I don't know why I'm jumping to this, but
no, but it makes sense because like when we talk about theories that other people present to the show, it might not like be what the author was actually trying to portray what the show was supposed to be.
Yeah, so. Exactly. That's why I segued into the whole school thing. But
right.
Dude, I used to hate when teachers would be like, "Oh, what do you what do you take away from this? What do you think the author's perspective was?" And then you give your thing, and then they'd be like, "Not really." I'm like, "You just asked my opinion on what I thought.
Exactly.
Why you shutting me down?"
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. It's just
I totally agree. Especially being in school, and like, just I always hated that question because it's like it's basically an opinion. It's like, why are you gonna tell me my opinion isn't correct?
Yeah,
because really doesn't make no sense at all.
It's like I'm trying to. This is what I'm taking away from this. Obviously, I haven't read the entire book,
or even know the author themselves. Like you think it's all opinion. It's really all opinion. Like you think what the author is trying to portray, but you don't know. Like you haven't talked to that person or even have a conversation with that person.
You can,
you know what I mean?
Like it would be so funny if the teacher was like, "Oh, well, that's not what they meant. They meant this," and then like have something where the actual author comes and like, "That's not what I meant." And then like legit just go with like what one of the kids said,
right?
And make the teacher look good.
Exactly.
That would have been awesome.
I'll give you a great example of that. It might not be of as far as like an author, but it's almost resembled to what we're talking about. So, my favorite influencer, Leo Thomas, he basically he was doing a podcast with his friends, and he was talking about how what is a great way of just trying to achieve your goal or achieve what you're trying to accomplish. He gave a great example. So here's war. Your game, kind of game, a game we grew up on.
Yep. Game's fire.
So when the first one was about to come out, the producer and the person that was writing the story and everybody, the guy that made the game himself, doing everything, he basically was doing everything. The people from Microsoft was telling him, "Don't make this game. Don't do it. It's not right. It's not going good." He didn't care. He said, "I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna pursue it." When he brought out the Lancer, and hopefully people know about when I'm talking about the Lancer, the most famous gun of all time. It's basically a gun you can shoot, but it also has, if you're holding it, obviously you have to hold the gun like this. On the bottom of it, it has a chainsaw, so you can basically cut your enemies. It's a game basically of fighting aliens and just going through them and stuff. He made that concept, Microsoft went back to him, said, you can't put this gun in. You can't make this gun. He said, I don't care. I'm going to put this gun in. E3 comes out. Microsoft opening games, systems, all that stuff for, obviously, Xbox. They drop the trailer, show the Lancer, show the game. Bill Gates is sitting in the seat himself, watching what's going on. Trailer's over, everything's done. Bill Gates goes up to the owner, says, that game's fire. That game is so dope. I love that gun.
Damn.
That's all you need.
The rest was history.
The rest is history. That's all you need. And why I'm saying this story is like, a company or a person can try to bring you down as much as you can, or even try to diminish what you're trying to accomplish, as long as you're trying to accomplish something in life, or whatever the fuck you want to do. If the person or even the owner of something likes what you basically came up with, there's no need.
Yep.
There's no need. The rest is history. Like, he liked it himself. He was like, oh my god, this is like dope. I love the concept. I love the game. I love the gun.
Dude,
And he still didn't give a fuck about all these other people telling him.
Man, if you have,
you know,
if you have a vision of what you want to do, whether it be in life, career-wise, or anything, just do it. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Okay, you fail. Cool. Get your ass back up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
same thing with this.
There's just two guys out here just
I legit
talking
fell
about
on
this
this
crazy.
twice. The first episode was 2017. Second episode was 2018.
Right.
I didn't do any of them till this year.
Exactly.
Well, this past year now.
Right.
But I've had people come and tell me, why are you doing a podcast? Nobody wants to hear what you talk about. Nobody wants to hear about anything that you like.
Right.
I'm like, oh really?
Because I can think of 10,000 guys in my mind right now. Like,
right? I mean, there's like 10,000 plus people.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, if I wanted to, I can make a whole podcast about Power Rangers.
Exactly.
I mean, not the whole podcast. But
Yeah. Yeah. Like a conversation.
like I said before, the Power Ranger video, 10,000 plus. Boom, right
Who would have
there.
thought? Who would have thought?
I didn't know that shit was going to take off.
Exactly.
Honestly, from that, I feel blessed. Just from that. And I'm like, holy shit, like,
it is.
Obviously there's people that watch it. There is one thing though, that I definitely know it's because of the Lightning collections coming out.
Right.
And this is so funny. I showed Maribel. It shows the age range of the people that watch the video.
Kind of curious. What is the age range?
There's two age ranges. Percentage-wise, it's 47-53.
Okay.
25 to 34.
Which is
35 to 44.
Oh, that's no shock to me.
Yes.
That's literally
The age.
well, obviously Power Rangers came out even before, like, you know, when we were born. So it's like that age, you know, that those ages really do define the, you know, the fan base, you know, like,
I mean,
what it is.
Because, like, you know, like I've said before, obviously my brother did watch it.
Right.
And my cousin as well. And they're 80s kids. Late 80s.
Yeah.
But still. So obviously you can tell, like, I know my brother watched the videos. You know, my brother's 30.
Yeah,
32.
exactly.
32.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Putting him on blast a little bit. But,
damn, why are you gonna do it?
right? It's all good. He's a family man. It's fine.
Yeah.
But,
I gotta go.
No, that's cool, man. Go. Yeah, I ain't tripping. It's all good. You know, but just going back to what I was saying, I got that. I know there's going to be different people from different age groups that obviously are going to enjoy the content, especially for the Power Ranger one, like I was saying. But I want to keep doing it. I know, obviously, going back to what I was saying with people telling me that I shouldn't be doing this or that. Obviously, 10,000 people disagree with you. I mean, whether, obviously, with Power Rangers, I know Power Rangers is a brand and everything. So, like I stated before, I'm going to be doing more videos of that with the Lightning collection. So pretty soon I'll be doing that. Hopefully I'll get my hands on a few more, whether they be the singles or the double packs. Trying to see if I can get that the Amazon 5-pack exclusive of the Psycho Rangers. But oh, look at that! She came back. But yeah, I was just saying what I was gonna be doing later on down the line, toys and stuff. Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's a big, group of people that want to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
10,000, bro.
That's crazy.
That's just. I mean, I know I might keep going back to it, but dude, it just still amazes me that 10,000 people watched the video that I made.
Exactly.
Granted, I don't even have 100 subscribers.
Not at all.
I was like, I'm like, obviously not completely at the bottom.
Right.
But
to start.
It's a trip, man.
Yeah.
And
it just shows you, bro, like literally just different.
That there are people out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That enjoy the same things I do.
Exactly, and that's basically one of the best ways, to talk about what you want to talk about. Different interests, different ideas, different, topics, whatever the case may be. Everybody has an interest in talking about it. And I know a lot of people that are watching this are gonna be like, oh yeah, I know about, even the video that we did before. They know about Marvel, they know about Star Wars, they know about DC.
Even though I think in that one it's not really.
It's not really. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Obviously in our future videos, definitely. Well, I mean, we talk about everything. Like I said, we talk about everything. But and we never shy away from what we're trying to talk about. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, there may be some things that we don't discuss on here, like politics. Mm-hmm. Not really.
Not at all.
We ain't nobody to be talking about politics.
At all.
Yeah. I mean,
you do what you want to do. That's all I gotta say.
You vote for who you want to vote for. You do politically whatever you want to do. That's.
Yeah.
I can't give an opinion. I can give an opinion.
Exactly.
But my opinion ain't shit.
Exactly.
I ain't a politician.
I knew. That's basically all it is.
So that's for sure one thing we'll probably not
never
talk about. Maybe later.
Maybe as we grow older.
Maybe. We'll see.
But
for now, we're going to stick to the things we know.
Yes.
And the things we enjoy.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I'm just.
Yeah, man.
I think it's getting about that time. We gotta. No, not time wise.
Oh, okay.
I mean, more of the fact that it's getting kind of up there with the runtime.
Oh yeah.
So before I close out or whatever.
100%.
For this year, since we didn't do it in the last episode, is there anything you want to put out right now for goals that you've set for yourself? For this,
100%.
for anything?
100%. My goal for myself this year is basically getting this brand to a height that it's never been before. Even though I know it's not mine, it's my best friend's and his cousin's. I want this brand to succeed. I want it to grow. I want it to be in a place where it's never been before and be known as something. Also, just grow this podcast with you. That's one of the goals I've made for myself this year. For not just for myself, but for you. To grow. And just get more exposure and more out there, which is you definitely will. And just be a better person. Also, too, I lived with my family all my life, so I want to get my own place. That's one first and foremost. Just want to get my own place. Just get my own, little spot. That's probably like my biggest goal of the year. Just get my own spot, just start my life and stuff like that. But as far as what's going on right now, just making focus on the company and also focusing on what's going on right now, focusing me and you. That's basically one of my biggest things. Obviously, like little things, those are like the main things. Obviously, we all have little things like, hey, I want to go here, I want to travel, I want to,
I don't know about that anytime soon.
Oh, exactly, yeah, no, 100%. But, as far as those major things, for myself, that's basically what's going on.
And like, well, for me, obviously, growing the brand of the podcast, hopefully getting out some merch of my own.
Exactly. You've come to the right place.
Right? Shit.
Come to the right place.
Gotta get that WhatNot merch in.
Yes.
Hopefully maybe get that sponsorship by, I don't know who.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
since '08, I'm just saying. But yeah, just getting where I know we should be.
Exactly.
The podcast, I'm gonna say it now, will be every Friday for sure, 100%.
100%.
Every episode will be out on Friday.
100%.
I know the previous episode came out on the Sunday, but some things happened with family stuff.
Yeah.
But I will be as consistent as I can. Every Friday there will be an episode.
Right.
Who knows, depending on the demand or the traction that we get, maybe we'll go to two a week.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. I mean, obviously
things are growing for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great dynamic between the two of us.
Of course.
We can have conversations for hours, which is proven because people have told us we don't shut up.
We don't.
Which is fine.
People in the past, people in the future.
Of course, there's always going to be people that say that. Like Maribel said, oh, that's perfect. You guys never shut up.
Wait, before you close up the video, I just want to know what she had said about the previous video. What you showed her, just that dynamic of, showing your wife that our dynamic, so to speak, of how we are interacting with each other.
So she has not yet completely watched the full thing.
Okay.
She did see pieces here and there.
Right.
Because obviously, we're recording now, I just uploaded it less than 24 hours ago.
Yes.
So she's seen parts of it. Obviously, she's seen the sausage party.
Okay.
The movie, not an actual sausage party, but
oh god.
But yeah, she's like, wow, like I didn't even. She's like, I forgot that happened, or even the fact that she said what she said in the movie theater, and made a shit ton of people laugh.
Right.
But I know she said that she can see that it's genuine between us.
Mm-hmm.
Just us talking, like there's no bullshit.
There's
not like, obviously there's not a lot of space in between us speaking because, we can talk forever.
Yeah, exactly. We can just go on.
But I know she said she's going to watch it in full, which I love her for.
Right.
I need to text my brother though. Hey, dude, that was my podcast, bro.
Yeah,
like, what's up?
Definitely, yeah. And I've been putting it out there too, since we did the last one, hopefully you guys can go watch it. I've told a lot of people that, I'm starting to do this, and, I guess like the last couple moments I could speak on it. When I first started working for Pieces, I wanted, to develop my own goals, not just from the company, but to do what I want to do. And podcasting was one thing that I did want to do. Have a person there with me talking about same interests, and, obviously, it didn't happen, obviously, at the time when I started working for them. Still had the vision in mind, and then, just kind of just stayed back and just, chilled on it. But then, you coming along and you still doing what you were doing, it was literally a match made in heaven, like him having something established, me wanting to do it also, having a place for it.
Me needing a co-host.
A co-host.
I mean, it's fine every now and then.
Exactly. Yeah.
By myself.
Exactly.
But I already know it would be a lot better for you guys and obviously for the both of us to actually be talking to each other.
Exactly.
I mean, I know I really don't enjoy podcasts with a single person.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's some good ones like like straight up Joey Diaz, Uncle Joey's Joint, him by himself. Dude, I can sit there and listen to him tell his stories all day.
Obviously we're gonna cut out the video soon, but I love that guy. He talks about obviously going to his Joe Rogan podcast and the things that he talks about. Obviously all the videos that he's posted on there.
Joe Rogan.
Well, Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
No, I'm saying him being on Joe Rogan's podcast, like,
dude,
the stories that he says. Oh my God, it's funny, it's genuine, it's literally like everything.
I mean, it's obvious he exaggerates a lot of the shit.
He does,
but it's just.
But it's himself. You know, it's himself telling the stories.
Yeah,
himself.
I mean, he's a comedian, dude. Of course, he's gonna try to make every story that he has funnier than it is. Exactly. I mean, there's times where he's genuinely just said a story without trying to really make it funnier than it is.
Oh, and it's hilarious.
And it's still hilarious.
Hilarious.
It's just him, like you said, him being him.
Hilarious. Yeah. My favorite one. I mean, obviously speaking still. My favorite one is the thousandth episode. This is how I know how remembrance I know of what he was talking about. It was the 1000th episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, and Tom Segura and Joey Diaz. We'll talk about it later, but I don't want to post it. But that episode itself, the funniest one. Funny as hell. The things he says, and he literally is just telling a story. He's not even like trying to be funny. He literally is just saying, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And
dude, that's what I love about him.
Funny. It's hilarious.
He's
awesome.
He's one of the very few people online that doesn't bullshit anything.
I don't.
He's like he stated before, he's a convict.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He says what he did. And he don't give a fuck.
He doesn't. And that's what makes him like.
And it's so funny when they try to cancel him.
Oh yeah.
When they tried, did you see when they tried to cancel him and Rogan?
Yes.
For some shit that was said like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally, I remember they had asked Rogan about that. He's like, Rogan's like, do you think he's being fucking serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, he like exaggerates everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
But yeah, that's.
But
it's inspiring. You know, it's inspiring.
Going back to what I was saying about the goals, one of my other goals is for me to either be on somebody's podcast, obviously somebody who's more established than us, or to have somebody on the podcast with us. Maybe not physically, maybe through Zoom, or however we can get that arranged.
Yeah, definitely.
But I am making it a goal. I want to do this.
It's gonna happen.
This is something that I want to continue doing. This is something I would love to do full time, and I don't want to stop. And I think we're gonna just end it here, dude. Because
all I gotta say is, I'm gonna finish up this. This right here is happening for a reason.
Of course.
You needing a place to produce your podcast, I was able to help. Us being the way we are, it's literally, like I said, it's a match made in heaven. So, trust. Shout out to WhatNot. Everybody go watch.
So I just want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and if you have any ideas for things you guys want us to talk about, maybe some interesting topics, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give a like. You gotta hit that thumbs up. You know, not down, but obviously down below.
Yeah, down below.
But you know,
hit the thumbs.
Maybe
hit the like.
Sub to the channel.
Yes, sir.
Hit that bell for notifications, because I am going to be uploading every Friday at around noontime. Noontime for sure. That's my goal. Friday at noon every week. So, like I said, hit the bell for notifications. And, you know, follow me on Instagram at aricswhatnotexperince. Go ahead and follow Braulio at
BPR_24.
It'll also be linked in the description down below, along with my business email. And, you know, I just want to say thank you to, you know, you and
appreciate it.
The guys at Pieces for allowing me
100%.
to use the space. And obviously, dude, they got some merch that I like. I ain't tripping, dude. Halloween is dope. It's inspiration.
It is.
We got some of the other shit back here.
We literally just got this new piece in. Coming soon. You guys have seen it firsthand. Pieces, Tokyo. You know, flower thing. Can't go no better than that. We got our hats. Just, you know, support and you know, hit that like button, and yeah, just go on Instagram, follow us at Pieces and PiecesLosAngeles.com. And yeah, just support.
All right, man. So appreciate you again.
Appreciate you, my brother.
We will see you guys in the next one.